Well, I was asked over time how I got into this crazy business and ended up a luthier. If basically most people don't even know how that word is spelt, let alone what it means. It means somebody who builds uh, musical instruments of a string type. They started way back there somewhere in the really distant past, probably long before I was ever born. But I actually, when I was just a man named Jimmy Webster came to America and he was demonstrating. And I got the chance to go see him. And he played on a single deck and he played a system that really enthralled me. It was like Eddie Van Halen, Steve Vai, and all those other great pickers ended up doing over the years. And of course, they put Jimmy Webster to shame. But what he did was wonderful. I mean, because they had better electronic, big old heavy equipment, nice stuff that did it really well. So I decided to go into my shop and see if I could build an instrument that I could use two hands, because when I tried it on my Fender Broadcaster, which was, of course, stolen from me uh, over that same period of time, and I wish I had it today, I'd be living on some island. But anyway, uh, I tried it on that Broadcaster, the early predecessor of the Telecaster, and I just couldn't do it. My hands were big old hands, and they get in the way on the neck, a little neck, and so I decided to build a double neck and see if I could do it that way. Well, I built my first double neck, and at that point, I had to learn a lot of stuff. I had to first off, I had to make that instrument play almost by itself, easy to play. I had to go, so I went to individual bridges. First, I went to a muting system, a manual muting system that actually was patented, the first patent called the dual ectar. And after that, I worked just year after year trying to develop a system to where those strings rang better, especially up above the 10th, 12th fret. They just seemed to not be, and they were on my regular guitar too. You'd pick them, they just go kind of, they wouldn't go thud, but they would go. They weren't as sustaining a notes as I got in the middle of the neck or down at the bottom. So I started creating things that made that better. The individual bridges was one of those things that by separating the strings, I got a quicker reaction and a better adjustability to the string, and just a lot of better facts to that. So I went to the individual bridge. I also went to hexaphonic pickups, one pickup for every string, sometimes two pickups, one at the bridge and one at the neck, and that made an awful big difference for me. When I went to the individual pickups, I then had an opportunity around 1985. I patented another patent that was called the electronic mute. And wow, when you can turn a string off completely, and then when your finger touches it or touches the string to the fret, that string comes on and all the other strings stay off. With the new computer technology they have today, that's amazing, because you can not only hold a note all the way up the neck, you can pull chords all the way up the neck. And so the way I became a luthier was through the hard knocks of school. I had to learn everything in order to build a brand new technology type instrument, which today is known as the touch guitar.